Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video here of older women trying to date. Let's jump right into it.
Story time. So I am 50 years old and I have been dating now for about 9 months, and I'm going to tell you why I decided after knowing this guy for less than 24 hours that I am not going to go out on a date with him. So we matched on the new Facebook dating app. I don't really know if it's new, but it's new to me. I just sort of signed up for it, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago. It's basically on Facebook, and you just sort of activate the dating part of Facebook. None of your friends know that you do it. Only other people that are on Facebook that are in the dating app also know, right? So
it is amazing to me, man, how these women will make TikTok videos like this and think that anybody cares. Typically, women who are this age, you know, they're over the age of 50, they're over the age of 40. There is oftentimes very bad reasons why they are still single. You shouldn't be dating over the age of 50. You should be basically having grandkids by now, right? But we're sitting here talking about dudes that you matched with on a Facebook dating application. Number one, like anybody cares. And number two, like you should be doing it in the first place. Dating over 50 is just not a sentence that should ever be said, particularly for women, guys. Particularly for women.
I matched with this guy and we started, sort of bantering back and forth. Great communication in the beginning, just easy texting, whatever, nothing like inappropriate or anything. And then he was like, well, hey, how would you like to chat later on? So that's one thing I do like is like, okay, yes, that's great. Let's text for a little while. But then within like the first day or two, you need to ask me, if you're a guy, like we need to talk on the phone. So he said, hey, would you like to talk on the phone at some point in the next couple of days? And I said, sure, here's my cell number. So I said, why don't you call me tomorrow evening? And so that's a test. So ladies, when you're just starting to talk to someone, you could suggest to the guy, hey, give me a call tomorrow evening, and then you see whether or not they're going to do it. Because one of the number one qualities I want in a guy, and you probably want too if you are a high value woman, is you want a guy to do what he says he's going to do.
There is no way, guys, this woman over the age of 50 on Facebook dating of all places is trying to tell us that she is a high value woman. Guys, I don't like the term high value to begin with, okay? But if we're going to throw around words like this, let me just say this straight up. You are not a high value woman if you are trying to date over the age of 50. Also, trying to tell men what to do is not going to work out well for you. This is exactly why you're single, guys. Let me explain to you why this woman is single. If I had to guess, it's because she's incredibly masculine. No relationship is going to work out that this woman has because she's essentially acting like the dude. If you're a woman and you act like a dude, all that you're going to get is men that act like women. And if you're a heterosexual woman, you're eventually going to ditch him because you're not attracted to feminine men, right? She's sitting here and she's like, yeah, this guy, he has to get on a phone call with me, and he has to do that. First of all, you're not in a position to make demands of men. Second of all, this masculine crap is exactly why you're dating over 50, right? So the man has to jump through all of these little hoops. He has to call you, probably take you out on a date, do all of the traditional things, blah, 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 for a woman who is dating over the age of 50. And notice how she says, well, there was nothing inappropriate at the start, right? So this dude is going to get no intimacy. No, he's going to get absolutely nothing, and he needs to jump through all of your stupid little hoops to date a woman who's over 50 years of age, excuse me. Disgusting, man.
A guy, and you probably want to if you are a high value woman, is you want a guy to do what he says he's going to do. That's very important. That shows he has integrity, that shows he has values. And this is one little simple test, right? So I said, here's my number. Why don't you call me tomorrow? He said, great. I will be sure and text you before I call you. I thought, that's great. So
there's one thing I love as a man, guys, and that's just being tested by people. I just can't get enough of it, right? I love being tested by people. This is probably why this woman's damn well divorced or something like this, right? Here's the thing. Excuse me. Dudes don't want to be tested. we're not in high school, madam. You are over the age of 50. Okay. And like, let's talk about this. The reason why she wants this dude to do all of these little things to her is not because integrity. It's not because of values. It's because she wants to be able to tell the man what to do. Guys, women will oftentimes use like these pretty words in front of these things, right? Integrity, values, and things like this. If you encounter an older woman, guys, and she says to you, one of the things that she really values in men is integrity, just go the other way. Because if you actually valued that particular value, then you wouldn't be single at 50. You would have gotten with a man who has integrity, right? You wouldn't do all these stupid little tests to try and feminize men. Or technically what this woman has, guys, is she has built a funnel for feminine dudes. That's what this is.
So the next day came, I got a text from him that morning. You know, we had some nice banter going back and forth. We were texting back and forth. It was great. And finally I was like, you know what? I'm done. Like, I don't really want to text you anymore. Like, as you said, just call me back later tonight. So I said, you know, I think I said something like, okay, sounds good. You know, looking forward to our call tonight. Have a great rest of your day. Like, that was my nice way of saying, like, I don't want to text anymore. Just go ahead and call me later on today, like you said you would. And he said, sounds perfect. You know, have a great day as well. Like a little kissy emoji. Okay, perfect. Good. So the night came, which was last night. And I go to bed early. I go to bed at like 9 o'clock, okay? Because I need my beauty sleep. So 9 o'clock rolls around. He had not called. So I was like, you know what? Okay, fine. That's it, right? So I go to sleep. I wake up this morning. I see if he called. Maybe he called later. Maybe he called at 9:30 or 10. He did not call. Instead, he sent me a text this morning around 8 a.m. that said, good morning, gorgeous. I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to call you last night, but, you know, I don't know. I had something going on and it lasts longer than I thought. And when I got home, I was really tired.
Right, so this woman is pissed and she's going to throw this guy away because he didn't give her a call at that time that he said he would call. Now, guys, I personally do not care. If you're a woman and you're dating over the age of 50, you can set whatever little standard, you can set whatever little hoop it is that you want men to go through. And you can say, I'm not going to date this guy because he didn't do X. That's totally fine. But here's the thing that this woman is forgetting here. This high value woman is that if you're dating over 50, a lot of guys that you're not going to date the guys who are going to follow through on their word kind of thing, right? A lot of these masculine men that she wants, the men who are direct and who do exactly what she says and also makes a lot of money and all of this kind of crap, right? These dudes are not looking at you, right? They're really absolutely not. I promise you guys, successful dudes who are a man of their word, dudes who are traditional, right? Don't date women over 50. And the reason why is because women over 50 are inherently not traditional women, right? I see every single one of these videos, you'll have a woman who's looking for a traditional man, whether that means he follows through on his word or he plans the date or no intimacy until marriage, right? Provides for his woman, all of these sort of things, okay? But not once have I ever seen one of these videos where a woman wants these traditional characteristics and she is a traditional woman herself. Not once. Every time they're like incredibly masculine. They have a bunch of demands for the dude, but they actually bring nothing. They're a lot older. They've been through a divorce. They have kids. I mean, the list goes on and on.
And that's all he said. He said, can I call you later on today? And guess what my answer is? My answer is absolutely not. In fact, I didn't even answer him because I'm not going to waste my energy even responding to this guy. I blocked him because guess what? That was his very first test. He should be on his best behavior right now. So if he can't even follow through the very first day I meet him on giving me a simple phone call, he's not my guy because...
What is this, a classroom, men? Oh, I gave him his first test and he failed the test. And guys, I understand this, okay? People want to weed out undesirable traits. But madam, you're a woman who's dating over the age of 50, right? This is... Women forget that they lose leverage at this age. You don't have more leverage. I don't know what kind of individual. This woman is probably watching some TikTok dating coach or something, or she's probably a TikTok dating coach herself, to be honest with you. I don't know who it's probably the womanists, honestly, who is out here trying to convince these women that they are high value. But I'm telling you, they're not. Right? And because here's my thing, it's not just my opinion. If you were a high value woman, I really don't like using this word, man. It feels gross to use. If you were a high value woman, you wouldn't be single at 50. You wouldn't have to put men through these little tests. Hell, you wouldn't even be dealing with dudes who would do this anyway. Right? If you're a high value woman, you would have your marriage like done decades ago. You would have kids done decades ago. You wouldn't be masculine, right? A lot of these women forget that we as guys, we don't want to date masculine women. It's like man repellent. If you talk to a guy like this, all a man hears, particularly older dudes, they know what this is like. They know this story. They know what masculine women are like. They're complete headaches. They don't want to date you.
Call you later on.
Like, just listen to how this woman talks. She talks like a teacher, right? And she's trying to instruct you to do something.
Today. And guess what my answer is? My answer is absolutely not. In fact, I didn't even answer him because I'm not going to waste my energy even responding to this guy. I blocked him because guess what? That was his very first test. He should be on his best behavior right now.
Best behavior? Best behavior. Yeah, guys, these men, they're just acting up, you know? These silly men, they're not on their best behavior. They should be on their best behavior for a woman who's over the age of 50 on Facebook dating. Get out of here. Somebody needs to really, I mean, it's not going to work anyway. You can have realistic discussions with these women, guys. I mean, there are these podcasts that go around, you know, places like Fresh and Fit, the Whatever podcast. I'm sure there's a bunch of other podcasts that try and talk sense into women. But the reality of the situation is that these women, they don't want to hear common sense. They're not interested in it. They don't care about reality. This, for reference, guys, the equivalent of this, right, is like this is the equivalent. You have an 18-year-old dude who is overweight, who has no money, who is incredibly unhealthy, he smells and he has no friends, and he's complaining that he can't get women to jump through his hoops. That's what the equivalent is. You don't see guys doing this crap because, you know why? If men make videos like this where they say, women aren't meeting my standards, they're not doing this, right? And they're like overweight or something, or whatever the case may be. You know what happens when men make videos like that, which they don't, but you know what would happen if they did? They would be mocked. They would be laughed at. That video would get pulled down so damn quickly because everybody would tell that man that he's being an idiot. But you have videos like this and it's all like, yes, go queen. I mean, you look at the comments of videos like this, guys, it is all women encouraging each other, right? It is amazing. Let's continue.
Guy, because guess what? I want a guy who does what he says he's going to do. So that's the lesson I learned, right? I don't need to waste any energy. I don't need to waste any time. I have a set intention on what I want. And I want a guy who has integrity, who follows through, whose words match his actions. So ladies, if you're just now starting to date and you're wondering how to test a guy, this is a great way to test him. Just ask.
I wonder if any of these women have ever considered what the men with integrity want from a woman. I see these videos, like these dating advice videos for women, and every single time what they consist of is what the women want, right? Here's what I want in a man. This is how I'm going to weed him out, right? This is how I'm going to test him and look for these men who have these best qualities, which is fine, guys, right? If you're a younger woman in particular, and you're weeding out the dudes who, you know, have desirable characteristics, right? I have no issue with that, okay? I truly don't. What I have issue with is these women who are, number one, old. I won't say old, right? But they're like, because women over 30 do this, and I wouldn't necessarily consider that old. That's just, you know, over 30. They never, ever consider what a man wants. Like, not once on this video have I ever seen any advice on here's how we can make ourselves better for a woman. I have seen men's dating advice, guys, and you know what a lot of men's dating advice consists of? The first thing, the very first thing is get your fat ass in a gym. No woman will love you if you have a physique like that. That is a lot of dating advice from men right there, is go out there, actually improve yourself. I'm not talking about buying some healing crystals and doing your quote unquote healing like these women say that they do. No, no, no. Men's dating advice is go out there and make yourself an attractive man for, you know, and try and attract women that way. Give women what they want. They want an attractive guy. Okay, cool. They want a guy who makes a lot of money. Cool. Go out there, make a lot of money, go to the gym, right? This is the dating advice that men are told if they want to attract women. Not that these women are worth attracting anyway, but I'm just telling you. The dating advice for women is just be as narcissistic as possible and choose what they want and ignore every other guy that doesn't give them exactly what they want. That's the dating advice for women. And then they wonder why they're single at 50 and they've got 10 cats. Right? Amazing stuff.
Ask him words match his actions. So ladies, if you're just now starting to date and you're wondering how to test a guy, this is a great way to test him. Just ask him to give you a call. Does he follow through on the call or does he not? And if it's in the very beginning stages of talking to someone and they can't even do that simple thing of calling you back, like, oh my gosh, it's a no. That guy is fired, because remember, you deserve better and never settle for anything less.
Who does this woman think that she is, man? I'm telling you, these women behave in such a narcissistic way that every time I see a video like this, guys, it's like, I won't say I'm surprised because I've seen a lot of these videos, but I am a little bit taken aback, right, as to how people can get to this situation. Right? Never settle for anything less. You deserve this. I mean, what if the women don't deserve that is my question. This is what I have a problem with these content creators who say to their audience, like, yeah, you deserve everything. But what if they don't? What if they have work to do? Right? And I don't mean the women who are dating over the age of 50, I'm not, they think that work is like staring at crystals. I don't know, man. Right? But I mean like actual work, right? These people are not necessarily deserving of a relationship. Men don't just owe you these things. We don't owe you commitment. We don't owe you jumping through your little hoops. Okay? Especially as guys become more successful, right? Because that's when men start to have more options with women and they will just ignore you. They don't date women who do these stupid little tests, right? A lot of these guys who have integrity, yes, they will call you, right? They will do these things. They'll be traditional, I suppose. But the moment they realize that you are testing them like it's some little game, they will just throw you out. Because dudes we're not children, man. We're not still in high school. Okay? We don't want to be dealing with 50-plus-year-old women who are trying to test us. Can you guys imagine what this woman is like in a relationship? If she's testing you now, right, and she thinks that she's all this, she thinks she's a queen, she thinks that she's high value, and she's throwing these little tests at you and telling you that you failed and just blocking you and whatever. Imagine this woman's behavior in a marriage. Holy hell, guys. If you're a 25-year-old guy and you date a woman who behaves like this, don't be surprised if you look 40 by the end of a 2-year relationship, right? But let's continue. I think we have one other divorced woman here after this clip wraps up.
Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you agree with what I did.
Oh, I agree. You're an absolute queen. Your Prince Charming is just around the corner. Carry on.
The number one most confusing thing that people say to me as a single 30-year-old is, when you know, you know. My question to the people that say that to me is always, how? Like, how do you know when you know? Because here's why. At this point in my life, I've dated quite a bit, right? Like, I've dated casually, I've dated seriously, I've had situations, and I can say confidently that there has been at least 2 times in my life that I was like, this is the one. When you know, and I know. I know.
You serious?
Have you guys noticed that some of my videos have gone missing over here on YouTube? That is because I am slowly moving them over to locals where I can actually host them without the risk of getting in trouble. If you are not aware, many creators are starting to move over to places like locals, Rumble, etc. because YouTube is not really a free speech platform. So if you are interested in supporting the channel and getting access to videos that are no longer available here, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. The link will be in the video description down below. Supporters get access to their own exclusive videos that are no longer available to the public. So make sure you go to the link in the description and join us over there now. But anyway, guys, back to today's episode. Gee, guys, I cannot wait to go out there and have a serious relationship with a woman who has engaged in hookup culture and who has had a bunch of situationships. And you see, this is what men get in Western day society. Like, this is the average. It truly is. Some like 30-year-old woman who's had a bunch of situationships, who, by the way, guys, let me just make this clear, okay? These women who have all of these casual hookups and flings and stuff, these dudes are still like following them on Instagram. They are still just one little tap of a message away. So you mean to tell me that my option is to have a relationship with this woman, and she essentially has all of these dudes that she's previously been with on speed dial, and the average woman is sitting here posting photos of herself all the damn time to Instagram, wearing essentially nothing? And this is the deal for men. And then they wonder why dudes, number one, won't give them dates, won't marry them, won't give them the bare minimum, or just straight up leave the country. Guys, it is not a joke when I say this. Dudes are leaving their countries to avoid women like this. They don't want to have a family with you. They can't have a family with you. Statistically speaking, guys, if you have a family with a woman like this, the odds of you getting screwed over, whether that be in divorce courts or her cheating on you or whatever the case may be, are so damn high that if you looked at the stats, you just wouldn't gamble on it if you had any intelligence. You just wouldn't gamble on it. Now, guys, I'm not a gambling man to begin with, okay? I'm not a fan of gambling personally. But, you know, even the gamblers, I've got to think twice about those odds, man. Even the guys who are at the casino every night, they would look at those odds and be like, don't know about that one.
I thought I knew. And also, too, like, I'm not even talking about relationships I've had in high school, relationships I've had in college. I'm talking about a relationship that I had within the last year that I genuinely was like, this is it. And then we broke up. So I was wrong. And now I've gotten to this point where I'm like, I have trust issues with myself. I can't trust myself to know when I know, because I don't know when I know. When I think I know that I know, I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Yeah, see, so let me just explain something really quick. This is why, guys, back in the day, the fathers used to pick the suitor for their daughter, right? Because let's be honest about it. These women are so bad at picking men. And even if they pick the right one, they refuse to stay with him because they get bored. I mean, let's just call it for what it is, guys. If you have a father and you tell him to pick a suitor for his daughter, he will pretty much damn well always pick a better suitor than she would have picked herself. I don't think I could be convinced otherwise, guys. Men have a really good radar for this. They really do. They understand the men that are going to screw you over. They understand the men who are who are only interested in hookups. A father would see this stuff from a mile away because they're using logic. They're using their brain. But what you see, what these women see, is, oh, he has a nice post on Instagram. Oh, he gets a lot of likes. Oh, other women like him. Let me send him. Let me reply to his story. And that's how women select their partners these days, guys, right? It'll probably be some other app in a few years or whatever, right? But it's just this hive mind mentality, chasing attractive dudes and then wondering why it doesn't work out and such, and the cycle goes on and on.
It's starting to make me question the people that tell me when you know you know. Because here's the thing. If you think you know when you know, and you're currently with your significant other, if you were to get divorced, would you still know? I'm genuinely asking, would you still know? Or would you be wrong? And then if you got divorced and you met somebody else, you fell in love again, married a second time, would you say then that you know? Help me understand, please. Because I don't know, I don't get it. And a part of me just wonders, don't come for me, but a part of me just wonders if people say when you know, only because they're still with their significant other. I don't know.
Here's the thing, guys, and this is going to be a bit of a brutal truth here. But here's the thing. This is not going to be nice, what I'm about to say, all right? These women are sitting here. They're looking for their significant other. They've been through a bunch of situationships and whatever. Here's point number one. Point number one, you've probably already met your significant other. That's not the mean part, right? You have probably walked past your Prince Charming. You don't even acknowledge your Prince Charming exists to begin with, okay? We're only chasing the top percentage of guys. So there's issue number one. And these women will try and convince you that they're not chasing the top percentage of guys. The men who can get attention from women, other than yourself, which is all women, are the top percentage of guys. But here's the nasty part. The nasty part, guys, is that if you were to give this woman a successful relationship at this stage with a good man who is attractive to her, at least moderately, right? A nice balanced relationship. He was a good man, wouldn't cheat, loyal, and he was pretty, decently attractive, I guess, that relationship would not be enough for her, right? It doesn't matter. You can give this woman a relationship and it won't work. No relationships from this point on will work. That is my view of it, right? Now you're going to have the all police come to my channel and be like, Taylor, well, some relationships work out, okay? But if we're playing the stats here, if you give these women a relationship, it will fail. Because they are still thinking about that previous guy. It's ruined, guys. It's over. It's GG, okay? You tap out. You go next, right? This woman has had too many relationships to the point where she's bonded in too many different directions. If you were to give this woman a relationship, I am telling you, it probably, statistically speaking, would not work because the pair bonding is gone. Pair bonding, soul ties, whatever you want to call it, guys. They can, if you take a modern woman and she has been with a bunch of different guys, she's got, been in these situationships, okay, she's like 30 now, she can't make a relationship work. If she could make a relationship work, it would have worked already. Truly, guys, it would have. She'd be married by now. She'd probably have a kid by now if things would work, right? But what this tells me is that no matter what type of man that you present this woman with, it's never going to be good enough. And that's just the end of the story. This woman's happy ending, guys, is gone, right? Women like this, what they do is they essentially ruin themselves and they don't realize that they've ruined themselves. And it's really, they think that it's really mean when I say this, and I suppose that it is. But this is why you don't go out here and engage in this degenerate culture, particularly as a woman, because you just will never be able to settle after it. You'll view it as settling. You can't pick somewhere. You can't pick a man. You're torn in too many different directions now.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, so am I the only one that is single and I guess dating, and absolutely okay with just living by themselves? Because the thought of sharing space with another human being literally repulses you.
Yeah, so this woman is dating over the age of 30, and we have yet another situation here where the woman who's saying this is trying to convince you that she's happy. Oh, I'm dating over 30, but I'm content and I'm happy with my life. I don't think I've ever met, if someone's trying to convince you that they're happy online, chances are they're probably not happy.
At this moment? Or is it just me? Because the way I think about that, like literally sacrificing my alone time and my peace yet again for a man, it'll sit right in my spirit. It'll sit right in my spirit.
Story times.
Oh, we are not doing this again, Cheryl. Holy hell. Guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get this stuff out of my head. As always, make sure you take care of yourselves. And guys, if you're interested in becoming a Fiend Gang content creator, remember that the applications are still temporarily open. But otherwise, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.